What's going on, guys? Killer6 back with another legendary item review for you, and this time we're taking a look at the Devoted. Now, I've got a binary pertinent Devoted, which has a ×2 multiplier, which is what the binary prefix is for. I also have a Stark Devoted. Stark, I'm not sure what that affects, but as you can see, smaller mag size. Everything else is pretty much the same. It might be accuracy. This has 6% higher accuracy than the other one. Possibly that's what the piece up front does. Let's see. Yep, accuracy bloom negative 25%, whereas now that one's got it as well. So I'm not really sure. We're still learning all the parts and the prefixes. Obviously, you can see that there's clearly some different parts involved between these two different ones, which is why the discrepancy in the damage numbers. So mostly we're going to be using this binary pertinent Devoted, but I will swap over to this one on occasion just so you can see the shock and corrosive damage. This one's obviously fire and corrosive. This one is an anointed version, so on action skill in, I'm going to deal an additional 125% more weapon damage to badass, named, and boss enemies for a short time. I think we're only going to have 1 or 2 boss or named enemies along this path, but we'll do what we can. Now, the red text on this says, "This is your champion." I believe that is an Apex Legends reference. I could be completely wrong about that. I don't know much about Apex, but that was the only thing that I could find online that says this is your champion. So in terms of what this gun does, it's a Maliwan, but what's weird is this one, the charge time is not bad at all. It almost works like an old school Hellfire, and as your mag gets lower, your fire rate kicks up big time. As you can see, this thing will just tear through these dudes. We're not on mayhem modes because, like with all these review videos, I want to show you guys this gun without any kind of negatives attached to it. I didn't use any of my action skills there, so that's part of why we failed so hard. But yeah, I wanted to show you this gun without any kind of stuff that's going to give it a negative connotation or make it look better than it really is. I'm playing with no modifiers whatsoever right here. And the only modifiers being my skill tree, which I'm not even really using as well as I should be. But yes, anyhow. So, is this gun good? Yeah, actually this gun is surprisingly, it's a lot better than I thought it was going to be. I actually very, very rarely even looked at this gun. Even though that dude was shielded, it went through his shield pretty quick. As you can see, oh god, I'm blind now. Let's switch to our shock one here for her. And rips the shield pretty good, and then back to this one for the flesh. I really should try and use cover more often. I'm using a Rough Rider shield in case you're wondering why I have no health. I'm using kind of a weird build here, but it's all about maximizing my ability to freeze these dudes and do some damage. So that's what's up with that. Alright, so is this gun worth using as a slot in your inventory? That's the real question now, isn't it? Is this gun worth replacing, say, the Cutsman or the Crossroads or the Hawkin? I'm going to say probably not. This thing, it does have a place and a time. The fact that you can swap between elements on this thing is pretty nice. Whereas like with the Hawkin, you're stuck with whatever element you got because of the time of the day you're on. The Cutsman obviously has those slow projectiles. So you really have to have things like basically stand still for you. This one, the charge time is great. The reload speed's a little rough. It's a little bit rough, but I mean, that's overcomable. The fact that this thing can spawn in any element, that's pretty nice. So ultimately, I would say this is going to be worth using if you have maybe like an elemental Amara perhaps, or something where you're going to get elemental boosts. Then this is going to be a little bit more efficient for you than it is for me on Zane. With this build I'm on right now, I don't really see much advantage in using a lot of the elements that we've got between these two different Devoteds, if you will. Really good gun. It's definitely worthy of being a legendary, but it's just not as good as a lot of other legendary SMGs. And I mean, that's the thing, man. At end game, you need the best of the best. You don't want to settle for an okay or an average gun. You know, you want the best guns in slots, and this one's just not it. But I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you did, then please take a second to hit that like button, hit subscribe for more, tap the bell icon to be notified anytime I post a new video. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I will see you guys in the next one. Take care.